Name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just. May Allah's Salam Alaikum. We are once again thankful to Allah for allowing us to meet with you for congregational prayer service and to remind you of the importance of keeping up a prayer. Now remember, there is no, just a moment. There is no way for you to stop yourself from being lost if you don't remember history. And history writes itself. You hear people say history is written by the winners. No. Lies can be written by men, but history does not lie. It's just that sometimes history is hidden. Do you understand? See, if you trust what you hear the devil say, the devil, he wants, the way he guides you, the way he usurps authority over you is he's subtle. They suggest to you, you remember when William Barr was asked, how do you suppose history is going to remember you? Now that was an honest question, coming from someone who expects the truth of history to be recorded. He said history is written by the winners. You hear that on TV a lot. You see, it's just like the true history of us here in this country. They have not told us the true history of ourselves and what they did to us. And we, our parents, they frightened our parents into thinking that they shouldn't tell us either. It's just like when my mother heard and my dad heard me come home and tell them that the white man is the devil. And she said, you can't stay in this house believing like that. You can't stay here. And it frightened them. Not for themselves. They were scared of what was going to happen to me. Do you understand? So they didn't tell. My daddy told me some things that white people did to him, and the white man had to save his life because he fought this white man, got in a fight with him, and the only thing saved him was he was a good worker, and another white man wouldn't let him kill him. But this is the kind of thing that they was doing even when I was born in the 50s. Now, he's listening to me. Allah said this, they shall afflict them. Now you take it from there. Afflict them with what? He said, I said they shall afflict them. What didn't they afflict us with? What you think they meant when they said teach that nigga a lesson? Terrorize them. That's the lesson. So, you cannot throw away history and think that you know what you're doing. No, you don't know what you're doing if you if you throw history away, because history dictates what your next move should be. Do you understand? I'm not standing up here with blinders on. I know what I'm dealing with. And I'm offering everybody a chance to know exactly and see exactly what I see and what I know. It's like, when you want to know what to expect from people, it's just like, if you notice, whenever a true or a real president, whenever you have seen a president meet with another president, if one of them's wife was there, the other one's wife was there. That's just etiquette. If it's just one gonna be without the woman with him, the other one gonna be without his woman with him too. Do you understand? Because that is a way of recognizing equals. Do you understand? You don't bring it. Let me show you something here. And this young man, he called it a surreal moment. But most people don't know why he called it a surreal moment. But this is the surreal moment.
This was one of the most surreal days I have ever seen in American politics. Donald Trump meeting in Helsinki with Vladimir Putin, the president.
Where's Putin's wife? Well, what's she doing now? Oh, so you bringing your girlfriend or your wife to meet your daddy? What are you doing, man? I mean, these people, they talk about Russia like Russia is a threat to the United States. They've already told you the truth about Russia. Russia's economy ain't as big as California. Well, how's Russia a big threat to the United States? They want to be, but Russia is a Chihuahua and the United States is a Great Dane. Do you understand? But it's not just, look, the threat is, let me tell you something, it ain't how big you are. It's your ideas that if you can trick enough people, a weak one can rule a strong one. We proved that when we made white people and taught him how to rule the one who made him. It's like one of my babies asked me this morning, why is the colored man called the skunk? And I answered her in a quick way that, we say people's attitudes stink. But it's deeper than that. That, when you do something that is unjust, or when you, like what was done to us, the afflictions that they did to us, and as they say, lynch the nigger, meaning practice William Lynch on him and teach him the lesson that William Lynch said he'd be taught out of that. Do you understand? And so that's what they have been doing to us. But let me show you something here. It has other meanings too. Because when I used to hang out at the pool hall, when you run the table on somebody, you skunked them. They didn't even get a shot. if you was playing a game and it was on football 21-0, you skunked them. And here's what the definition in their dictionary tells you. See, many things that we would know, we don't know because we're lazy. He made us lazy. And the longer you listen to hearsay, the lazier your mind gets. Instead of looking into something yourself. It's right here in the dictionary. A person regarded as obnoxious or despicable. A skunk. To defeat overwhelmingly, especially by keeping from scoring. To cause to have no success trying to catch fish, used in the passive. To cheat somebody. That's why we call the white man the skunk of the planet Earth. The colored man. Why do we call him colored man? Huh? We colored him. We made him the devil. He didn't come here then. You didn't come here a doctor. You didn't come here a lawyer. You didn't come here an engineer. You came here a blank mind. And they colored you. Do you understand? Well, the colored man is the Caucasian white man. The original man is the Asiatic black man. The maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, the God of the universe. Well, who is the colored man? The colored man is the made Asian, the Caucasian white man. Or Yakub's grafted devil. The skunk of the planet Earth. And everywhere he go, he cheat people. I know. He keep you from being successful. Did you see The Omen? Make they land unfertile and then sell them food. Huh? I mean, they dropped that Agent Orange and stuff on their own troops over in Vietnam. Agent Orange, people still suffering from it. Not to mention what happened to us in Camp Lejeune. Now they come out and tell you that they was poisoning us in Camp Lejeune. I was there. So, it's all kind of stuff they was doing. But Allah told me if I drank any deadly thing, it wasn't going to hurt me. And so I don't see no reason to go up there fouling someone I ain't hurting. But the fact of the matter is, they done did a whole lot of things to their own people. The devil don't care about nobody. So I wanted you to see. It's just like my my baby asked me also, why am I the leader? And I told her because I'm the best knower. It's just that simple. Let every soul be subject to the best knower. If you knew better than me how to do this, I'd get out your way. Only reason I'm up here is because I couldn't find nobody that knew better than me. You hear me all the time inviting people to come in here. All these brothers that's been with me, them Michaels there, and Brother James, and Brother Calvin, and many of these brothers that's been with me since they was teenagers. They've always known me to let people talk. I'm doing it right now. The whole planet is listening to me. If you know better than me, I'll get out of the way. I'm not on no ego trip. My knowledge compels me to stand up here. If you know the solution to problems that people are suffering, why would you remain silent when you see ain't nobody else stepping up? And the people that you see stepping up giving the wrong solution. Because they ego tripping. These people that go talking about their imams and preachers and rabbis and all that kind of people only ego trip. Rabbi means master. Jesus said, call no man on earth master. One is your master. The head of every man, the master of every man is Christ, and the master of Christ is God. That's what Jesus told you. He said, my Father is greater than I am. The truth is greater than us all. So what did he mean, his Father? He knew that the words that was in him was one day going to be swimming around just like your life germ is swimming around in your scrotum. The life germ of God is swimming around in my brain, which makes me the Father. So now, I'm not here to beg you to accept me. That's for children. The only one I'm a child to is Almighty Allah. To everybody else, I'm the Lord. So you believe it or don't. And as I was looking at this deal here, it really even the questions that our children, little 3-year-old, 4-year-old, asking me a question that made sense. That's because it's our time. You remember I told you can learn whatever you want to learn if you know what question to ask. When they go digging for oil, what do you suppose they're doing? They're asking a question. They're seeking. They've learned to read the earth. And not just read the earth. But you know, when you got oil wells at different points, most people, they don't give it a second thought that we have sebaceous glands. And if you study the human body, you know where the sebaceous glands are located. The earth has sebaceous glands, oil. And once you learn the pattern, you can go there and find oil. They come out as shortage. There ain't no shortage of oil. Like diamonds. Ain't no shortage of diamonds. Ain't never rocks. But anyway, he's taught you to value the valueless. And he's taught you to disregard the value of the most important things. Why you think he can sell guns to everybody? Because most people regard life as cheap. They regard their fellow human beings as cheap. They don't value the life of human beings. If you valued the life of human beings, thou shalt not kill would do it for you. Oh yeah, I'm talking to all of you. You hear me. So, see, I'm learning about you. The more I talk to you and the more I see you ignoring me, then it was revealed to Noah that none of thy people will believe but him who already believed. Remember I read that? Yeah. And what happened then? Yeah. Time to do to them what you threatened them with. So, okay. So I'm trying still. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Okay. So I was just looking at this and say he reporting to Putin like he reporting to the principal or something. Here this man, the president of the most powerful nation on earth, and he over there bowing to Putin. Because what? He envies dictators. What does that tell you about dictators? See, whenever you try to take a position that only God can take, it manifests that you ain't rap tight. See, otherwise you would know that you can't be other people's keeper. We wasn't put here to rule over each other. We was put here to work together with each other. And God rule over us all. Do you understand? So, you notice it's certain things, because you said you were my follower, I order you to do. There's other things that I have requests, and I'll ask you, can you do this, or you got time to do this, or whatever. Why? Because I'm not trying to take your freedom away from you. Whatever I do for you, it's because I want to. Then that's the way I feel, that if you do something for me, it's because you want to. If you don't want to, I don't want it. Do you understand? No. Because it does not mean the same. It's not going to be done right no way, but you didn't want to do it. So this is the day where, the more I see, the more I see. And then I can guide you. The blind cannot lead the blind. Do you understand? So, you're not following a blind man. So as I was looking at this history, what is history? History keeps you from getting lost. You see? Just listen to this little clip here.
Russia, just days after indictments were announced against Russian hackers operating under the orders of the Russian government to interfere in the 2016 election.
The defendants worked for 2 units of the main intelligence directorate of the Russian General Staff, known as the GRU.
And so how did Donald Trump...
Now remember Rosenstein and all of them are Republicans. And they was telling the president that Just about all of them. Look, the Republican Party was called the Law and Order Party because most of the people in the justice system and on the police force, they vote Republican. Why? What is another term that's used for Republicans that used to be synonymous with Republicans?
Conservative.
Conservative. What does conservative mean?
Slow to change.
Slow to change. Keep the order of things. Well, that's why they are Republicans. Law and order. Do you understand? But that's been turned upside down. They allowed, because of their, you remember looking at the Matrix and everybody in the Matrix was after one thing. What was that? Beg your pardon? Power. What does he want? What do all men with power want? More power. Huh? They wasn't satisfied with their conservatism. They wanted to be a dictatorial party. So they start welcoming crowds, thinking that large numbers would make them more powerful. Well, large numbers is fine. You know, that's like somebody thinking that if you real thin, real skinny, you may need to gain some weight. But you got to know when you got enough weight. Do you understand? Because now, the more you gain, the more unhealthy you become. When you see people joining your religion or anything else in large numbers, it's time to seek refuge in Allah. Because you know good and well all them people ain't just all of a sudden and start believing. So the ocean, if you look at the beach early in the morning, it's got all kind of nasty stuff on it. In about the middle of the day, it's been dragged back out. You ever been to a beach? Well, and it's, that's amazing how it brings it in and then takes it back out. They started inviting the Ku Klux Klan. They started inviting the Nazi Party. They started inviting all of them, the basket of deplorables. You remember when Miss Clinton called them deplorables? She wasn't lying. They used to agree that for a man to be thinking that his skin makes him better than other people, even though he dumber than a bag of nails, but he somehow done convinced himself that his skin is carte blanche for him. That's a stupid individual. Do you understand? That's why you know he couldn't have got out the cave if we hadn't went in there and brought him out. Because he's still a caveman. The beast that was and is not, and yet he still is. Do you understand? So, you hear me? Only he hear me while I'm awake now. It's a whole different thing now. Anybody can go and attack a sleeping man. You could have beat the hell out of Muhammad Ali when he was asleep. Wake him up, then go get it. Like one of the one of the men was talking about Muhammad Ali when he was rejected in America as a coward. Ain't nobody never thought Muhammad Ali was a coward. That's the last thing they thought he was. He didn't refuse to go to Vietnam because he was a coward. He refused to go to Vietnam because we wasn't going to go fight no war on some soil for the white man, while he over here won't even give us no defense over here in America. They beating us down and doing some everything. Now what it look like being over there? If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have been over there. Do you understand? So, but a lot of times people in the name of friendship mess you over. Just because somebody praising you don't mean that they care about you. I heard all of these people talking about, we love the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and we love you, and you have our sympathies. But when the messenger was asking for money to help build us up, they gave us pennies. Like you do a child. Here, take this quarter here. And they know that it takes billions of dollars to build a nation. Now you calling me your brother? You say I'm your Muslim brother, and you see me over here struggling to get my people up, and you ain't offered now nothing to help me do nothing. But you love me. Yeah, okay. That's one thing. I think his sister said, "What you done for me lately?" I mean, you ain't did nothing for me. Only time I see you is when you want something. So, when you want something from me. What did Gaddafi do? He offered Farrakhan what? The wealth of Libya. If we would do what? Commit suicide and go up against this man over here. That was insulting. But Farrakhan didn't understand that. He loaned the messenger $4 million. Loan. But offered Farrakhan the wealth of Libya to get us to rise up and commit suicide. For that's what that would have been. Well, what do you know about? What do any of us really know about warfare? The science of warfare. Do you honestly think you could go out on I don't care how agile you are. You can put us all the same age. Put any 5 people out on the basketball court with a professional basketball team, you will always lose. Because they run plays on you. You just out there. They could beat you with 4 men. And you could have 5 and they'd still beat you. But I mean, it's just, it's just like the white man. You notice, he don't come in here. The only one you see come in here trying to argue and go on with me is those who look like me. The little jealous Negro. But You don't see no white man coming in here. I'm here to free us indeed. And you get behind me and do like I teach you, you will have your own country. Now, like I told them, you can share the earth with us, or I'll take it all. It's mine. And you just remember now, you did not take this from me. We gave it to you. He taketh the kingdom from whom he please, and he gives it to whom he please. So I'm not begging for nothing. Now the messenger, I mean, you hear these things. You go back and look at the history of the man that you think you trying to. He's running for president again. How could you even think that you should put him back in there after what he did? I tell you how you could. The same way you thought that you could perpetuate slavery. The same way you thought that you could win a war that you had already saw a tyrant that was far more powerful than you. King George had a standing army going up against farmers, and the farmers won. That should have told you what you thought you won because of your strength. No. But the strength of the idea that of freedom that God put in George Washington and them and the Continental Army, that's what defeated King George. Never forget that. There is no such thing as a tyrant that is strong. You're no stronger than the mind that's in you. Most people think strength comes from weaponry and stuff you got in your hand. No, true strength is right there. And weakness is right there. If you want to know whether to declare war on somebody, if you can't overcome them in an argument, it's a fool's errand to declare war on them. Do you understand? And if you can overcome them in argument, you don't need to declare war on them, because you can outthink them. Do you understand? Either way, thou shalt not kill. Why? Because when we kill, we are slaughtering the innocent. Flesh is a slave. Even though all matter is alive, all matter is the subject to mind. All matter obeys mind. So if you want to go after something, you go after the mind, not the slave. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers. And every field of study is a God. But Allah is the greatest. You see? Proof of that is with all of this, the fields of study you have in this world. These books stayed locked up to you till I got here. So, he that's from above is above all. And so, you be wise to submit. Now, I'm not here to do you harm. I'm here to do you good. And so, just let me. It's many things that I wanted to say, but I want to say to many of those who sitting up out there thinking that they got some future. Just a moment. You wants to destroy the United States. Let me show you what the messenger said about that.
Being suspicious is a bad, bad disease. Especially when you are suspicious of a man of God that has raised him up to lead you in to a better life. I want to see you living in heaven where you once lived in hell. I want to see you acting by each other as though both was brought up in the same family and by the same father and mother. That's what I want for you. God has made me to love you as he loved you himself. I want to see you blessed. Not robbed, but blessed. You don't want to let me and my God bless you into salvation out of the poverty-stricken condition that you're in now. And get worse every day. No job. The government is afraid to let their soldiers return home because they don't have no job. The country is going down, down, down. And you can see it, boy. But yet you believe that in that fall you have salvation. Stick around, brother. I want to see heaven given. I want to see heaven. But yet you believe that in that fall you have salvation. Stick around, brother. And you can see it, boy. But yet you believe that in that fall you have salvation. Stick around, brother.
It's like somebody got a seat on the Titanic and glad it's sinking. You're a fool. That's what the messenger was saying. You think you have salvation in the fall? Stick around. You find out. How many times have I stood here and asked? And I'm talking about countries that's got dictators. Everybody can hear me. What do you have that's better than what the United States has? What government? What can you offer that's equal or greater than the United States. Since you want to tear it down, bunch of lazy, trifling white people that would like to have slaves, that ain't better. I didn't hear you. See, because in order to hold people in slavery, you got to stay there with them. I didn't hear you. And when you force other people to do your work for you, they wind up wiser than you. Because they're the one doing all the work. And you better go back and look at look at Django again, and look what Mr. Candy, the owner of Candyland, said. If I'd have been if I'd have cut my daddy's damn throat. That's what he said. Look, the only reason we didn't do that was because Allah ordained that we serve you. We ain't gonna serve you now. That ain't finna happen no more. And if you know what's good for you, you will take a hint that even when you have a crazy, evil thought that you might want to do to me, your head start hurting. And you better take that warning and go on. Pretty soon, every evil inclination you have, you're going to have to give account for it. Ain't going to be no devils on the earth after this. Yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yeah. Thou shalt diligently seek his place, and shall not find it. Prophet Muhammad was asked, well, if in the hereafter everywhere gonna be righteous, where will the wicked be? He said, where is night when daylight is present? The only reason that wickedness exists is because righteousness had not yet been perfected. That's why we brought wickedness into existence, to overcome it. That's the way the immune system works. The immune system is a miraculous thing. I don't care what happens. Many people may die, but eventually the immune system is going to win. You see, you can't wipe us out. So, and when you realize that, then you stop trying. You submit. So, rather than destroy them, who we made devils, we promised them that we would remove that curse from them. And there ain't gonna be no more curse. Okay. Now, if you don't let me, well, you know, it's I'm not here to give you something to tide you over or respite you while you practicing your sinful way. I'm not here to give you medicine, to be no mediator for you and your sins. I'm here to mediate between you and God. That's why he told me to speak with his words to you. And that's what I'm doing. Whether it's natural or spiritual, it's all his. The truth is the truth. No matter what type it is. And the two are actually one. It's like the earth. The earth is the eternal Garden of Eden. Eternal day and eternal night. EDEN. And it, no one side of it is always in that darkness or light. It's steady alternating, but it's always Eden. Do you understand? See? And just remember, nobody never told you that reason it's called Garden of Eden is because you can have your yard may be an acre. But you go out, you got people that go out there and put a 8x10 plot and plow it up, plant something in there and say, that's my garden there. The earth is just a little garden in space. It's a Garden of Eden. And now that we're getting this straight, we're going to go out and populate our universe. As Allah said to Abram, he said, look at the stars. That's how I'm going to multiply your seed. That's a promise in there that's hidden in there that people just don't realize. But anyway, let's have prayer. Attend. Hut. Original salute. Ready in front. Prayer position. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. And I bear witness that I know of none who deserves to be served or worshipped beside thee. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all holy praise is due and be to thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds. The Beneficent, the Most Merciful Master of the Day of Requital. Thee do we serve, and thee do we beseech for help. O Allah, please continually guide us and keep us on the right path and way, the straight path and way of thee and those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not the crooked paths and ways of Satan and those upon whom thy wrath is or will be brought down, nor the foolish paths and ways of those who go astray or who are led astray even after they've heard and been given the true understanding of thy holy word and teachings. Truly, I have again turned myself to thee, O Allah, striving to be totally upright, to thee who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Truly my prayers, my sacrifices, my life and my death are all for thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate hast thou in this am I commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King. I know of no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I've been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults and weaknesses. So please grant me and my true followers and family continual protection against all of our faults and weaknesses. For none grants protection against faults and weaknesses but thee. And guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts. For none can guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts but thee. And turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts. For none can turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts but thee. And O Allah, please continually guide us among those whom thou hast and wilt guide aright, and preserve and perfect us among those whom thou hast and wilt preserve and perfect, and befriend us among those whom thou hast and wilt befriend, and bless us in whatsoever thou dost grant to us, and deliver us from the evils of what thou hast judged. For surely and truly thou judgest, and there is none that can judge against thee. And surely and truly he whom thou befriendest is not disgraced. And our Lord, please do not punish us if we forget or make a mistake. And our Lord, please do not allow to be laid upon us a burden as was laid on those before us. And our Lord, do not allow to be imposed upon us that which we have not the strength to bear. And pardon us, and grant to us thy protection, and have mercy on us and forgive us. For thou art our protector. So grant us the victory over the unbelieving and disbelieving people, and over the hypocrites and the devils, and especially over the weaknesses and afflictions that lie within each of us, and whereby we have been afflicted. And save us from the hell that thou hast promised the devils and their followers, and grant that we not only see the hereafter, but abide therein with thee. Ameen. Ameen. And Ameen. Attention. Hut. Original salute. Ready, front. You may be seated. So let us remember to keep up prayer. That is something that no matter what we are doing, if we do it prayerfully, it will generally be the right thing. Our conscience won't let us pray to do something that we ain't got no business. So just stay busy building your nation, until pretty soon the doing of goodness is just a habit with you. It's just whatever you doing is gonna be good, and then you're on your way. That's how we get known as righteous, by habitually doing the right thing. Do you understand? So, any questions? Then may Allah bless us, keep us safe, and in our right minds. And if it pleases Allah, we will talk with you some more tomorrow. And till then, may Allah's Salam Alaikum.